All right, so while the pandemic has definitely brought some challenges, right? That's an understatement. It's also given us the opportunity to really focus on what matters. One expert says that now is the time to refocus our minds to have the chance of living our best lives and a less hurried life. That expert joining us now, Professor of Humanities at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and best-selling author, Dr. Alan Lightman. So thank you for joining us this morning, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
So, you wrote this article in The Atlantic. It was titled, "The Virus is a Reminder of Something Long Ago," where you mentioned that this is the time really where our world should nurture itself. I mean, what better time than now, right? What made you want to write this?
Well, I think before saying anything positive about the coronavirus, we first want to acknowledge the great suffering that is caused and the heroic efforts of healthcare workers and service workers. But I think there are a few positive things that have come out of it. And the main one, in my view, is just it's required us, most of us, to slow down our lives. For the last 100 years or so, our lives have been getting faster and faster and faster, mainly because of the speed of communication. And I think that we've lost our way. We've lost our ability to reflect on who we are and what's important to us.
Well, because you think about it, you think about self-reflection, right? And we just about that moment where you're gonna get into self-reflection, you get like an alert on your phone, and then you kind of forget about the self-reflection, and then it goes out the window. But now's the time. So, kind of, how does one? It may sound like a silly question, but how does one self-reflect?
Well, I think part of it is having activities that are not goal-oriented. Taking long walks, not looking at your to-do lists, not taking your cell phone with you. And I think it's a restful place for the mind. And it gives us an opportunity to think about our past, to think about periods of serenity. Those are the kinds of things that I mean by self-reflection.
And focusing on the positive, too. I mean, with the virus, it's so easy to only look at the bad, right? And for us here in the journalism world, it's one of those things where we want to also pay attention to the positive. Stories of survival, stories of people helping people, right? But sometimes it's just so easy to dwell on the bad.
Right. Well, there have been a lot of wonderful innovations that have come from the virus. I think the Toronto Symphony Orchestra had a concert in April or so with 29 or 30 musicians performing from different locations, and it sparked our creativity. Of course, the loss of creativity is one of the problems with living a hurried life.
Well, yeah.
And when we have time to slow down, as we do now, being more creative, more reflective, or some of the positive benefits.
Yeah, I mean, I've asked people a number of times over the past couple months when they've been on, what's just something new you've learned about yourself or a new skill you've picked up along the way. But let me ask you this, because not everybody has the luxury to live a life where we aren't always in such a hurry, right? I mean, think about like doctors and nurses. They're going all the time, each and every single day, no days off. What's your advice for those folks to kind of slow down?
Well, of course, I admire those people tremendously. I think taking 20 minutes a day and unplugging, it might be at the dinner hour, it might be taking a walk, but just turning off all of your devices. I think that's one of the things that imprisons us is being constantly connected 24/7 to the grid. So that's what I would recommend for people who have to work outside of the house all the time.
Very interesting. You kind of mirror what we had a guest yesterday. His name was Jaron Lanier, who said, just delete your social media for the time being. Kind of mirrors that to slow down, right? Hey, Doctor, thank you so much for coming on today. Everybody should slow down and take some advice and read the article.
Thank you.